Well, hello everybody from YouTube. This is my second movie or video on the Taotao Raptor. I did one a couple days after I bought this thing, just kind of highlighting my expectations of it. I did a little road test back then, and I did a couple other things. So if you haven't seen those videos and you're considering buying a Taotao Raptor or Taotao Raptor, I would highly consider taking a look at those videos just to see, what this vehicle is capable of. I do apologize. Those are a bit wobbly. They kind of move around a lot because I was doing a lot of my stuff on my cell phone. So now I got a camera set up. But anyways, I bought this in April. It is now January of 2021. So I bought April 2020. So January 21 is about 9 months. So I'm going to say about 8 months actually, because it was near the end of April, I believe. Overall, she served me well. The purposes that I bought her for, she can do it. I took this thing to Montana, and she functioned very well there. Up by, I think, Lake Dorman. There's a good bunch of trails up there. She did great. Took her here locally. I live in Arkansas. Just took her right across the border to Missouri to Rush Springs Ranch. Did awesome. I did buy this through dealer. I didn't build this myself. I didn't want to mess with a Chinese quad. I didn't feel myself mechanically apt enough, or inept, or whatever. You guys know what I mean. I didn't feel myself mechanically inclined enough to build this myself, so I bought it at a place in Fayetteville, Arkansas called Scoot Tribe. I still think they're a pretty good company even after all that, after owning it for so long. Actually, it hasn't been long at all. But anyways, I say that to say this. I'm going to jump into this review real quick. I would still recommend it going through a dealership. I'm going to talk about some of the problems I've had with this real quick, and then we'll get right to it. I'm going to turn this thing on real quick. I've got on it today, I've got 114 miles on it in 8 months. Guys, the first 4 or 5 months were a breeze. It was awesome. I rode around. I had a blast. But I got to say, now that we're going up on 8 months, the cold weather's setting in. It's about 40 degrees outside. I let her sit for a couple weeks, and I ended up having a lot of problems. The carburetors on these things are absolute junk. So unless you're driving this thing every day or every week, she's going to build up gunk in her carb, and then you're going to be screwed. You're going to have to clean the carb out pretty frequently. This is my 3rd time cleaning this carburetor out. I let it sit for a couple weeks. I went on a trip, came back, and it acted like she was dying every time I gave her gas. So I had to get the carb cleaned twice. I've changed the oil on it. Maintenance is doing pretty good. Changed spark plugs on it. Fuel filter, the works. I've done that. But the carburetor just likes to get plugged up. So, you can buy a pretty decent aftermarket carburetor on Amazon or eBay or China Part websites. But I just get one from Amazon or eBay, get a performance one or something a little bit better than the carburetor that's in it. Unless you want to be cleaning the carburetor every 3 weeks after like 4 or 5 months. And I don't put any ethanol in my fuel. I use straight fuels, no ethanol. Because there's going to be somebody that says, oh, you used ethanol. No, I didn't. She rides pretty good. I'm not going to say anything bad about that. The main issue I have is that carburetor. The other thing I've got, and I would move the camera, but I'll show you guys in the end in a minute. These batteries are absolute junk. Just the worst thing. If someone said, I want to make the worst battery possible, it was the Chinese people, and they made the worst battery possible. They excelled. This thing, I've got to charge it just about every day to get it to go. It worked good for about 6 months, and then just didn't do anything. So even right now, I've got our charger. Watch, she's going to start now that I said this, but she started this time. She started this time. Then again, I do have her on a charger and maintainer right now. But this morning I went to crank her, she wouldn't even crank. So I'm going to be getting this little battery replaced. I'm probably just going to go to Walmart Battery Outfitters or somewhere and just get another one put in there. Again, these are not big things. I still like my ATV. I still intend to ride it for years to come. I still think it was a decent investment. It's not a Polaris, it's not a Honda, it's not, any big name brand ATV, but it does what I need to do. And then again, it's a $5,000 difference. I bought this for $2,200. The ones at Polaris are going for $7,500, so that's about $2,300 difference. $5,300 difference. My bad. I can't do math today. Anyways, the other concern, and this is actually more of a concern than the other two things, because I can replace these other two things. You know, maybe $40 for a battery, $35 for so $80, and I can fix all these problems. The other concern is going to be every single bolt on this thing. If you talk to the dealer, you buy it, make sure they Loctite all the bolts. You know, I've had, and I'll show you guys, the rear sprocket, I'm missing a bolt already, and I've been tightening them up and putting Loctite on them, and it's basically I'm having to retrace the dealer's steps. You know, I've seen some horror stories from some dealers. Thankfully, this dealer's not like that. I talked to him about it, and from now on, he is Loctiting all of these coming out of the factory when he gets them. But anyways, guys, those are the top three things that I would take a look out for on these Raptors. As far as Scoot Tribe, I worked with a company called Scoot Tribe down in Fayetteville, Arkansas. I mentioned them earlier in this video. I would work with them again, honestly. They do come with a year warranty on these vehicles. So, you know, I like that. The only thing is, warranty doesn't cover a battery. It doesn't cover your carburetor. It doesn't cover anything that is not what they call a wearable item. So your wheels, your tires, not covered. You know, which that's kind of a given. But your battery, I think a battery should last longer than 6 months. Not covered. Carburetor issues, not covered. So, because that's just gunk that builds up, and that's my fault apparently. I'm not trash talking the company. I'm just saying be aware of that, especially if the dealer offers you warranty. Find out what that warranty is. And again, at the end of the day, I don't regret getting this. The warranty is still good for the engine. So, but these engines are pretty durable. So if you want to waive the warranty, you know, build it yourself, hey, go for it. I wish you the best. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys real quick some of that stuff. Before I finish this video though, the one thing I noticed was that we get a lot of, or at least for these Chinese quads, there's not a lot of support in the United States for them. I mean, it's hard to find someone that can work on, or not work on them, but someone that specializes in them without taking them, you know, 2 or 3 hours somewhere. So I started a Facebook group. I think the new name is called Taotao ATV Owners Group or something. Taotao Motor ATV Owners Group. I'm gonna look it up right here real quick to show you guys. And I mean, if you guys are getting one, I mean, it doesn't hurt no one to just join the group. And, you know, if you have questions, comments, concerns, gripes, or otherwise, if you want to say my movies are absolute shit, because they are, go ahead and say it. It's called the Taotao Motor ATV Owners Group. And, oh, I got 3 member requests. But we're growing pretty quickly, you know, so support is out there. We're trying to do I'm trying to make a grassroots movement to get support for these vehicles, so at least we can exchange information and get into stuff. You know, there's stuff that I have questions on. I am by no means a gearhead on these things. So things I have questions on, I can just pick people's brains out. So in closing, I'm going to show you guys what I mean by some issues. Sorry about that. All right. So here's your absolute junk battery. I would take it out, but I really don't want to right now. It's a pain in the butt. Now this rear sprocket, let me grab a flashlight real quick. Those are my chickens, I apologize. Really graphic. Alrighty, so let me see if I can show you guys this rear sprocket. It's missing its bolt. See down there? That supposed to have 4 bolts and I'm missing 1. So that's that sprocket. Again, Loctite your stuff. That'll save you a headache. And here's the ever so troublesome carburetor right there. So, alright YouTube, I hope this helped you guys out a little bit. This has been my 8-month review of the Taotao Motor Raptor. You guys have a good day.